American companies have found it necessary to restructure the overall approach they take to doing business. In this process, they have instituted a lean production philosophy of manufacturing. Businesses that have incorporated this approach into their operation report that the quality of goods has improved, productivity has increased, and that they have become more responsive to customers' needs.
Now, what does lean production mean? What we're talking about is an integrated system that starts at the point of making a proposal with the customer and doesn't end until product is delivered out the back door of the factory.
At one time, our lead times from all our customers were, first of all, measured in months, and secondly, at least 1 or 2 months long. And just as importantly, delivery to those lead times could be precise only within a week. Consequently, there was an unbelievable amount of material between us and our customers. That has gotten to the point where we deal with lead times that are, first of all, only 10 or 11 days long. And delivery to those lead times has to be in sequence within the day so that only the right product arrives at the right time.
The value of this approach has been well demonstrated in the Caterpillar plant in Aurora, Illinois. Caterpillar's Aurora plant began operation in 1958. At that time, the facility consisted of one building that contained all the resources needed to build a single product, the Caterpillar D4 crawler tractor. Since then, Caterpillar has expanded tremendously. Today, the Aurora plant manufactures nearly 24 different models. Their plant is situated on 430 acres of property, 96 of which are actual manufacturing space. That space is divided into focused factories, each of which is managed and operated by a strategic business unit, or SBU, whose role is to ensure that the manufacturing side of the business is most responsive to the needs indicated through the marketing side of the business. Cummins Engine Company has also adapted their production techniques to benefit from an increased focus. They added focus at the production line level, with what is referred to as a group technology approach.
One of the things we've done to reduce lead time primarily is to employ a technique called group technology. Fundamentally, what that means is that you group the machines together that perform all the operations on a given component or subassembly or assembly, and you have one or a relatively small number of operators that work in that group to perform the operation from beginning to end. What you end up doing is saving inventory. You end up reducing the throughput time on the component or the subassembly dramatically, and therefore you can reduce your lead time to your customer.
The originators of lean production also invented the concept of jidoka, or quality at the source. Instead of implementing quality control inspections at the end of the assembly line, as was traditionally done, the lean production concept emphasizes the importance of maintaining quality at every stage of the manufacturing process.
One of the things that we've done that has been helpful to us is to allow people in a manufacturing process to stop the process if in fact there's a quality delivery or issue that prevents them from making a good product. We found that they are reluctant to stop the line, but once they learn that having stopped the line doesn't get them in trouble, you can make a significant improvement in quality by fixing the problem that they identify.
This is in contrast to a push system, in which the parameters of operation are based more on speculation of market demand.
We would, in the past, talk about setting macro objectives. We'd want 3 or 4 or 5 turns worth of inventory in the field. But then we'd look at particular areas or regions of the country, and we'd see some regions doing 10 or 12 turns, while other regions weren't turning their inventory one time. When what we want is proper representation of our trucks at our dealerships across the board. So you've got to move away from managing on the basis of macro numbers. You've got to be talking about taking a micro look at your needs in the field. This is where we've got to drive toward to be successful. No one can afford to have idle cash lying around in today's competitive environment.
A more complicated and far-reaching system that is used to regulate production is MRP2, or Manufacturing Resource Planning System. Through a closed-loop electronic network, every portion of the business, from the point of sale to the date of delivery, is planned and coordinated. Using the master production schedule as a blueprint, the requirements needed to get from the order stage to the customer delivery stage are projected based on information that's fed into the system from several sources and communicated back and forth within.
Each of the manufacturing entities in the corporation now has a nearly standard material requirements planning, or MRP, system that fundamentally consolidates all the demand from all of that manufacturing entity's customers into requirements for part numbers. Those part number requirements are mechanically then integrated with a supplier scheduling system. That supplier scheduling system then electronically sends schedules for requirements to all of our suppliers. The lead time involved in that process is much less than it was a few years ago. And with the mechanical assistance, we basically can tell our suppliers what our requirements from our customers are much more quickly.